Hello, welcome to the Georgify channel. Today we are going to be telling you, I'm going to be telling you how to qualify in every single round in Fall Guys. Now I know, you cheeky bastards, that you're playing Fall Guys and you're not getting any wins and you're just absolutely depressed about it. Well, I'm here to help. I'm here to tell you how to qualify. It's a bit updated, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit outdated as well. You know, you have to be truthful on this channel. We do not condone any sort of hate. So do subscribe if you are new here, which is quite unlikely, but if you are, then do subscribe, like the video. I'm not that hot and bothered about liking the video, you know, do what you please, just please do subscribe, and enjoy the video. Now, Seesaw is a bloody fantastic level. The key things that you want to think is, don't go on the edge of a seesaw, never jump on the edge of a seesaw. Always try and stay as closest to the middle as you can, or if loads of people are on one side, go on the other side. As you can see here, right, so as a prime example, when someone's in front of me, that's actually an easier thing because they push down the seesaw for me to then jump onto. So you don't actually have to go as far up as the seesaw as them, so you can catch up with them. Now it's always worth to do a jump and dive when it's a hard jump like now, but just a little normal jump is fine when it's quite an easy one. Don't just walk onto a platform because there's gaps in between. It's just untrustworthy really. But yeah, jumps and dives are nice and safe, and then secure the dub at the end and you've qualified. Right, so Whirly Gig. What you want to do at the beginning of Whirly Gig is you want to bunny hop down that slope, so you just jump and then jump as soon as you land. It's called a bunny hop. Now you can take two routes. One is the safe route, like here. I'm just jumping over the things, completely ignoring them. Maybe use a nice little boost at the end, you know, but generally just keeping safe. And the risky route is when you use them for your advantage. So it's not too risky, but it can screw you up completely, or it can just get you first place. Like here. Now, when you go up that speed thing, you just jump and dive in the middle after a little bit of momentum. You don't have to jump on any of the blocks or anything. Go through these, don't touch them, then go through the two Whirly Gigs. You shouldn't have any problems. Now here, it's quite easy, just be patient. You shouldn't have any problems. Now, there's two routes. They're safe. They use either side, and there's the middle one that's quite risky. So, we'll go for the safe ones first. You just simply jump over them. Obviously, don't use it's similar to early on, but just don't use them to your advantage. Don't use them to swing you forward. That just won't work. Might technically, but now for the middle, you just want to jump and dive before you get to the top of the slope, and you'll 99% of the time make it. It's 100% tested, I promise you. And then you can actually use this thing to push you to the end. It's quite risky. Here's a nicer, smoother one that I did. Uses you to push you all at the end. Or you can just be normal and jump over it until you get to the end and then jump and dive, waiting for that Whirly Gig to go around. And then obviously, if you're a pro like me, you get P1. Alright, Dizzy Heights, the favourite of many. At the beginning, when the things are going round, you just want to go forward. You always want to be, like, go for the one that's going forward, if you know what I mean. Don't never go against the flow, so never, like, go back on it. That'll just slow you down so much. You can do a little bit of a bunny hop here. Now, with these balls that are coming forward, you can actually dive in there are two little gaps either side, and if you dive to make it, when you, like, your body's in the diving position, you can get through and you'll be fine. You'll, like, be on the ground for, like, 0.01 seconds. Now, for this, you want to stay on the edge of it for extra speed. But obviously, yeah, I don't really know what to say, just stay safe, really. Now, there's a very rare level where instead of that, it won't have anything, you just have this middle bouncy bit. And I don't really know what to say, I don't know why I include it, but just point yourself to the middle of it. But I don't even know if it's worth it then again, to go in the middle, because obviously all these people are overtaking me. So I'm not sure about that one. Now, as you go here, you always want to jump and dive. You can jump, but it's just safer to jump and dive. And then jump over, jump, you know, to each one, not jump and dive. Now, just stick to the edge of that when the ball's coming down. And now you can use this hammer to hit you forward when there is that like variant. But there's no really problem with doing it, so like it can't really mess you up using that hammer. So just go for it, and it might just hit you forward a bit. It might just, you know, like knock you over, but it'll take about 2 seconds to recover from it, or it might get you to the finish line in no time. Okay, now Hit Parade. There are 2 things you can do at the beginning of Hit Parade. You can like walk along these containers, always stick to the middle. I don't know why I call them containers, just call them containers. Jump over to the very middle of it. That's the way to be safe. And just watch out for these balls going left and right. Now at the beginning, you can also, to be safer, just jump and dive straight into the slime. You won't be first here, but you won't be last. I'm telling you now, you'll be in the middle. You'll be absolutely fine. So if you don't feel comfortable doing the containers, just do that. Now here, obviously you just want to stick with the crowd. There's nothing really much you can do, and you just get lucky at the end. Obviously I got very lucky here and I just got pushed to the very middle. But when it's this, you just want to either use them, if they're pushing towards the end, use them to like push you along, or just jump over them. Jumping over them is usually the best. Now when the balls are going side to side, you just want to stick to the very edge, because that way only 2 or 3, I think, balls can actually hit you anyway. Now when it's going forward, it's really easy. You just don't let it hit you. And then as you're going up, what you want to do is, when it's the donuts on top of each other, what you want to do is, you don't want to stick to the very edge. That doesn't work anymore in the new season. You just go for like the middle, or basically just pick a route that's best for you. And when it's the hammers, you want to use them for your advantage. Use them to push you forward when it is going forward, and when it's not going forward, just completely avoid it. Simple as that, really. Bloody DoorDash. Alright, so with DoorDash, my tip is just to go for the very front. Because when you go to the front, just completely pick whatever doors you want. Then if you mess up, then you're fine, you can recover. You know what I mean? I would not advise going for the middle, because then it's all crowd commotion. Just guess for the first couple. Now, what used to happen, I think this is actually gone from the next season, but I'll just tell you anyway. The little triangles at the bottom, the smaller triangles are the doors that you can break through. Like here, it's the 2 doors on the left, because they've got smaller triangles at the bottom. The bigger ones will be fake doors. Once again, you know. And always jump and dive at the very end of this, just to get that extra distance. But yeah, I think this like glitch or whatever was actually fixed in the new season. Alright, gate crash. So at the beginning, the gates actually go every 2. That makes sense. So for the middle one, you can easily make the middle one, don't worry. Now after this, you always want to be getting or going for the gate that's about to go down, not one that's already down. That's very important. So once already down, think about it, it's just going to go up. You're not going to make it in time. You can bunny hop over this tiny little slope here. But yeah, like I say, just the one that's about to go down. Now bunny hop at the end on the slime to give you a bit of distance, and go in between 2 gates, so then you can go for the one that's going to go down, and then you get a smooth qualify as always. Right, slime climb is a bloody amazing level. You can't bunny hop at the beginning here, but there's a lot of shortcuts to slime climb. Now, you can jump in between these 2 triangles and dive, and it's very easy. Or if you usually do this when you're in the front, jump on the front triangle bouncing thing, and you can jump and dive over that little gate, and jump and dive where I did there onto that. Simple as, really. Now I recommend going all the way around for this, and then there's a little bit of a shortcut here, right next to the containers or whatever you want to call it. Jump and dive, stick to the middle of these like in Hit Parade, and you can use that little shortcut I did then. Now it's a lot simpler to just jump and dive where I did, but you can jump on top of one of the hammers here, and then jump and dive to give you a lot of a boost. And when you get to here, you can jump and dive like across in between the 2 moving balls, or you can just be safe and stick to the very edge. But then you have the whole, you know, obstacle course ready for you. And then, if you're a bloody pro, you'll qualify at P1, position 1. Gotta do a few emotes first. There we go. Fruit shoot. So this is usually quite a lot later on in the game. You can bunny hop at the beginning, and then what you want to do, right, is you want to jump and dive, a good jump and dive, not like that. So here are a few more examples. Here's a nice smooth jump and dive, covering quite a few distance with the bunny hopping at the beginning as well. Covered quite a lot of distance there. There we go, fantastic. So here's the safe route. So you want to stick to the very, very edge. And then obviously cut round to the triangle donut thing. So you can actually jump and dive over these things, like as much as you can jump and dive over. But yeah, with a safe route, stick to the very, very edge. And you're like 99% won't get hit by a fruit whatsoever, and it's very safe. Risky route is very similar, you just stay a bit more towards the middle. Like only a little bit more, so that you don't really have to cut around the pyramid things, donut things. But obviously, like I got very lucky here. The banana obviously went over me and hit the other people. And I got the position 1, as always. Fantastic stuff. Now, bloody tiptoe. So with tiptoe, you can jump and dive and cover 3. You might not know this. Here are a few examples where I don't. I just mess it up. I don't know why I need to know that, but yeah, I jump and dive over 2 and get the 3rd one. Now what you want to do is always stay in the lead. That's my tip. So always stay in front of everyone and grab other people to stay on. Because that way, then you're pretty much safe. Just, oh, I fell over. And what happens is, you just remember your route and you just make your way back to your original position and then cut in front like I did here. Just all the way, straight away I'm back in position 1. You can just jump and dive to make that happen. Now, the tiles, I mean, you probably know this, but the tiles that shake are fake. So you can just use process of elimination to guide your way through. And like I say, always stick to that very front position and then grab people if you want to go off. Obviously, I fell off here, but I made my way back. And then we go position 1. And now we can see that there's always 3 or 4 at the front. There's only 3 or 4. There's never like, in this it'll always just go straight to the end. Here's another example. But here, there's an example where it's all 4, so it's like 4 all the way to the end. So it's either 3 or 4. Obviously it can be more, but it's never less than 3. So you can just get an easy qualify. So roll out. It's quite a boring level. I mean, it takes a while, but you just want to play it safe, really. So people say obviously like it's a good tactic to just stick between 2, but you can just stick between 1, or you can go with all 3. I don't really know. Obviously, you can only stick for 1 for a certain amount of time, but usually you can just stay on 1 for quite a while. I just go across the whole thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I always try and, obviously when you're grabbing people, you want to like grab the person that's right. So like, I'll stay, like obviously this guy's trying to jump across to try and grab him, so then I'll fall in between. Obviously only go to grab people like when you think you are actually going to be able to get them, like when they're next to a gap. Now when there's like a long bit of like land here, you can just like calmly walk forward like against the flow, and then obviously jump and dive across this, trying to grab people while I do so. I don't actually jump and dive, but I could have done that. Now, yeah, here you can just try and grab people as they try and jump across, or you can jump across yourself, but obviously you have to watch out for other grabbers as well. So yeah, here I just jump across. Walls are very useful, and you get the qualify. Alright, now perfect matches. Yet another quite boring level. No one really ever like gets eliminated on this. It's usually 1 or 2 people, unless one big event happens. Now, I don't know why I'm running around in circles in this clip, but at the beginning it's just 2 fruits. It's very, very simple. Just go onto the fruit that it announces on the boards. Just memorise where at least one of the 2 types of fruits are. There's no point trying to memorise where loads of different of them are. A tip, right? So when you want to get other people out, when you're quite a beast at the game, you want to like, obviously if you've memorised what fruit it is, because a lot of people follow the crowd here, you can go onto the false one, and then the last second yourself jump and dive over to the correct one. So obviously because it's at the last second, they're not going to be able to clock that in time. I often just follow the crowd at the last bit, because sometimes you don't clock which one it actually is. But just memorise your best, and if you don't, you can just follow the crowd, because 99% of the time the crowd on the last one is correct. So yeah, I do memorise which one it is, and I jump at the last second, but the dog's just doing the exact same thing as me here. Alright, Jump Club, one of my many favourites. It's a very fun game mode. So what you want to do at the beginning is you want to just follow the green thing. You'll get the pushing animation if you're right behind it, but just keep on doing that. Most of my games, I'm 3 to 6 like jumps throughout the whole game, while other people are just jumping over it consistently. So what you want to do is you just want to stay under a pink thing. So then when it comes behind you, obviously at the beginning you can just keep following it. So then when it comes behind you, you can just go back and jump over it. But a problem is, if you line up the pink thing, like I did just now, then you get eliminated, I'm afraid. So you just don't want that to happen. So if you're under a pink thing, when you see it coming, run back, jump over it, line up with another pink thing. Simple as. You can also be quite risky and stay like more towards the centre, but you have to be careful of getting grabbed, like here. But obviously when you're in the centre, if you get grabbed as well, that'll just push you off into the middle, so you have to be careful. Or even just bumping into people can cause that to happen. So like you just wait for the next pink thing, you run under it, you see it coming, you run back, you jump over it. Nice method. Strategic, you just, like, people are quite good at this actually, it tends to last quite a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really does. There we go. Fantastic. Alright, block party. So main tip for block party, right, is to stay at the front. But obviously you have to watch out for people trying to grab you. You just want to run back or jump and dive or grab them. Because here, I don't really do anything and I get pushed off into the slime. So that's obviously is a risk, but it's worth it, trust me. The reason why I say stick at the front is because it's not near anyone. So obviously staying at the back is okay, just make sure you're always staying in the middle so then it's not as far to go. Because obviously if you're on one side and then the gap is on the other side, it's going to be a lot harder to run the whole way across. Whereas if you're in the middle, you're never going to have that situation. Now when it gets to the jumpy things, just watch out for grabbers. Make sure you've got a clear jump. Jump and dive if you need to, if there's a lot of people near you. Now this specific one, you can jump on top of the thing that you're meant to jump over, and you have this glitch, where you're just floating. It's a bit out of the blue, I know, but you're just floating, like, continuously. You can't grab or move, you can just emote, and obviously, you don't die. If you fall off, you do actually respawn back on the platform, but don't do that. Now, after a while, you finally get the qualify, and it's very simple. So you just have to jump on the thing that you jump over. So back to the gameplay. Just simply jump over it. I mean, if you're away from everyone else, it's very simple. You just do a nice little jump. But obviously, like I say, if there's people there, just jump and dive. Now this specific one, you always have to jump and dive because there's going to be lots of crowds of people around you. You always just jump and dive, absolutely clear it, it's very simple. Now the variant where you have to jump over, just pick a little spot where you're not near anyone and just jump. Don't try grabbing anyone or anything, like any shenanigans like that. Just trust me, you just want to jump, it's very simple. Now when it is the variant, that is walls coming towards you, this is a lot easier. On here, only 8 people got eliminated. One person from that final bit alone. You just want to go to the area. When you're in an area, when you're at the area, the gap, and then there's lots of people trying to push you out, grab onto someone to stay safe and stay where you are. And you should be fine on that one. Right, tail tag. The thing with tail tag, right, is that the first minute doesn't matter at all because it's the last person. It's at the very end. It's the people with tails are qualified. But obviously here I'm sweating at my desk, absolute tryharding this, just to get the win because obviously I didn't have 35 wins back then. But obviously I was trying to tactic there of camping at the end of one of these purple things, which doesn't work because people can just jump and dive. So what you'll see is, as I cut someone off, which is so easy to do, when they're walking around the edge, just cut them off. Never do it yourself though. You can just jump across these purple things at the top, jump in and dive in. like so. You can jump or you can just jump and dive if it's quite a big jump. And just jump away from where the people are coming with no tails. It's an automatic qualify. 100% tested. Easy qual. So heading on to the team rounds. Hoarders, what you want to do is, it's quite a locky game, I guess, here. You want to pick on, and this is the case with many team games, you want to pick on the team that's doing really bad. So obviously here I'm doing very bad, and all the other teams are picking on my team. But you want to jump and dive to hit the ball, preferably. Or if it's in the air, you can just jump. And yeah, just when there's a team that's doing really bad and it's not you, you just want to literally go in their base, go in their section, and just block all balls from coming in from both sides. It's sometimes even worth it to help out the other team just to make that team lose, because obviously only one team is eliminated. So I'm just making sure none go into blue whatsoever. So I'm helping the yellows here, but obviously that's fine because it helps me out. It is definitely worth it though, obviously, to get more in your section to be safe in case a problem does occur. But for the rest of this game, I'm pretty set. Yeah, I came in clutch here, saving the yellow one from coming in, but then it does come in, and it's an overtime. When overtime happens, it's an absolute bummer, but you just want to stay strong, do the same thing. Just make sure, just help out the other. This is the key part where you might want to just help out the other team, just to make sure blue, in this case, loses. Alright, Hoopsie Daisy. I do enjoy Hoopsie Daisy. In the new season, you'll see that it's different, but I've already made this clip, I've already set it all up, so you know, why not? It's very similar appliances. So what you want to do is stay near the middle. That's one like strategy, and just kind of jump through the hoops here, and just camp this whole area out. So there's three main sections that it's worth it to do. So obviously here you just dive through this part and just have this as your own territory. Another section is the middle spinny bit. So you just keep on running around there, and you should be okay. And then when one comes, you just jump and secure it. And then if one's a bit in the distance, you can just run and get it and then come back to the spinny thing. Now another tactic, the final one, is at the very edge, both sides of each map, kind of. You can just camp these like tall things, because there's a lot of spawns here. Like here, I'm just jumping and diving through there and get this one, or my teammate does. So they're the three main tactics. Now when there's a gold one, always go for it. It's so worth it. It's worth 5 points. Definitely go for it. Alright, jinxed. With jinxed, it's a very big one. Half the whole lobby gets wiped out because it's 2 teams. So the main tactic for you is to just go on the spinny thing, and you can go in the middle, like here. You can just chill around in the middle for a bit, you know. Hope you don't get caught. Obviously, if someone does come on, then just go on the spinny thing and go away from them. But a better idea is just to go on the spinny thing, and then when people come towards you, you just avoid them, like here. Obviously, your own teammates will be very stupid to get you, so you shouldn't really have to worry about them. They can actually get you, but it's unlikely. Now, if you do get jinxed, obviously here it's not looking good. But here, as the people on the thing, you can just go in the pink thing in the middle and then jump out and surprise them. Cut people off, you know, bit of teamwork. Try and kind of get in places where you can just surprise people. Don't just chase people, as with many rounds, it's not worth it. What you want to do is, at the beginning, just, you can either actually jump and dive or just push it normally, because jumping and diving does actually give it quite a boost, but usually some of your teammates are just jumping and diving, like just keep on hitting it. But obviously you need some people doing jumping and diving, you need some people just pushing it. Both are fine really. Obviously you avoid this thing on the right, always try and avoid that. You try and always be the one that steps up and, you know, tries to help the team. It's always worth it, because our team are quite stubborn quite often. And if yours is the first to get down, you're pretty much okay. I would recommend not trying to like grief other people and trying to stop their balls from getting to the end, as long as obviously you're not the last person. Like here, these people, you can just grab them to stop them stopping your ball. And we're okay here. These hammers give us quite an advantage. We get the qualify. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to 4-ball, I'm not the one to ask for help. I'm not very good at it. I've been improving though. Right, what you want to do, from my advice, is when the ball's coming down towards you, you want to just jump, right? I actually find it's quite useful just diving when it's like on the ground rolling. Just diving can actually be quite a boost. Jumping and diving you want to use when you're defending or attacking, but when it's kind of quite low in the air, but not quite on the ground. So obviously you can defend. You can be a pro defender, or you can play quite aggressively. A good tip for you, right, is when you're defending, if there's a lot of pressure upon you, if you can manage to get like both the balls kind of a little bit away from your goal, like just become really aggressive. So then, because obviously, especially if they're in the lead, if they constantly have pressure on you, they're either going to score or no one's going to score and they're going to win because they already have a point. So you just want to play really aggressively. But obviously, when you do, like, even when you are in the lead, you still want to play aggressively, just to like,
because otherwise they might just keep on scoring if there's a lot of pressure on you, like if the ball's always on your end.
Alright, egg scramble. So there are two main tactics with egg scramble. One, the best one that I have for you is just grab any normal egg, jump and let go to just hop it in that little curved C. So then it's not quite in your area as such, in your net, but it's just, you've got it very safe. Grabbing a golden egg is always worth it. Just jump and dive, do whatever you can to take it to your end. And then when you do, obviously just defend it at all costs. A good tip for you is just placing it right in the centre. So as you can see here, it's very cool actually, no one can see that you have it. Anyway, another tactic is going straight for the golden egg. So you want to jump into the middle and just keep grabbing it. You'll have a bit of a battle, but if you can try and run, like here, I got quite lucky here, then you can just yeet it in, and like I said before, just keep on defending that. So obviously if you can't get that tactic off, then just keep grabbing the person that's trying to take it. Even just standing at the top to block them can be worth it. Like here, I'm just literally just standing here, keep it on grabbing him. He's trying to grab the golden egg and I'm just stopping him at all costs. It's a very effective way of doing it actually. So. But if they do manage to get it out, just grab it and put it back. So when you're in someone else's court, a good tactic that you want to do is just grab an egg, jump, dive and let go. That's the way to do it. It's pretty simple. You just jump, dive, let go, and it just takes them out of their area. It doesn't even have to go into yours. It's just to the person that's lowest. Like I said, pick on the person that has the lowest and just take it out of their court. Now when they have a gold one, you want to grab that and you want to safely take it out. Once again, I got quite lucky here. But generally, if you just play it safe, you should be okay. Once again, we have another example of me trying to get it out. But obviously, when there's a lot of people, it can be very, very tricky. But we still got the qualify, so that's good. Team tail tag is a sick level, guys. Right, so team tail tag, okay. What you want to do is, if you start with a tail, then run back and try and defend it. If you don't start with a tail, it's pretty fun. You go to this area, the second little pathway, run out, grab someone's tail as they're on the conveyor belt. This is why when you have it and you go on the conveyor belt, you need to turn names on so you know if there's someone hiding there. So it's always that second gap along the conveyor belt that you want to hide, so then they can't see you. Now when you do have the tail, you just want to outskill them, outplay them. Absolute huge plays from Georgify over here. Going on the conveyor belt is a valid option, but like I did here, I went through the first area because I'm suspicious of people doing the tactic I showed you earlier on. There's no straight tactic they have for when you're defending the tail. You just have to kind of be running about, generally just playing when you're better at it. Obviously it's a team game, so, you know, your team might be doing really bad and you might be really annoyed because you're like a pro, like Georgify over here. Obviously this guy, I'm just running after him. Don't chase people though. I do quite bad here because I'm trying to chase him, but you're not meant to chase him. But you can cut them off quite easily in multiple different ways. But just don't chase someone because you're not going to be faster than them. That's just not going to work. It's not how the game works. But yeah, just cut people off by like jumping in little shortcuts, using hardcore parkour. I mean, this guy was a bit of an idiot then, but yeah, we managed to get the qualifier. Right, so the final levels are here. So jump showdown. What you want to do is, we have a hacker here, just completely ignore him, I'm telling you now. You want to stay on the very right hand side of the like blocks that are available. So, you know, you can tell this obviously when the first one falls. So you always want to stay, the reason why you want to stay on the right hand side is obviously because they're coming clockwise, it's a lot easier to jump over them. You're a lot safer, obviously you don't want to be going against anti-clockwise. Now, as you can see here, I'm on 2, but there's 3 over there. It'll always finish with 2. 2 on either side. No, sorry, not 2 on either side, just 2. Just two singular platforms, and then it'll just none will drop then on. So now I'm in a good position, because if this one falls, I can just jump and dive over to there. So yeah, you can easily make jumps like this, a nice jump and dive. But now, here's a good example, right, of when there's loads and loads of people. So you can stay towards the inner side, at the very edge, just careful of grabbers, of course, where you're far away from everyone, and not many people actually tend to grab you, where you're just nice and calm, and always try and run back under it. Now, here, it got very, very fast. And it turned out to be a 1v1, so what you can do, and I wouldn't recommend it always, but sometimes when it's very, very a long game, you just want to grab someone. And I actually got the qualifier even though I went off myself. So obviously you can get it smoother than that. But yeah, if you can just grab them, you should be okay really. And you get the win. Hexagon, don't we all love Hexagon? It's our favourite level. So you always want to make the most of the top tiles, but also careful when you fall down, you don't want to like hit into someone. So I got unlucky and I fell down 2 levels at the very beginning here, but you can still clutch up here. To make the very slowest of jumps, obviously you can like wait to the very last second, but when there's a lot of people around, you don't really have to do that. You'll find out when you have to do that. Now I was very, very stupid. I'm at the bottom 2 out of 11 people, and you may be thinking now, how is Georgify gonna secure the qual? Well, let me show you. So you want to cut people off. I cut off this dinosaur very smartly, as obviously he was trying to go for the main chunk, but I blocked him off. You can also cut off a nice area for yourself sometimes. So here I'm just kind of, there's not many people around, I'm making quite slow jumps. Now we turn to very, very slow. Now we try and cut this dinosaur off, but he has his own section, so there's nothing really could have done. It's just me and this dinosaur up at the top. See that transition? At the very beginning of the game, we were doing really bad, but now we fall down. We're at the very bottom layer. You may be thinking, how is he going to win? There's a dinosaur up there on purple. He's got so much area. How is Georgify going to win here? It's impossible. Nothing is impossible, my friends. Nothing is impossible. Almost everyone else is eliminated. It's just me and 4 others. You can use this to, you can run back and jump every 2 so then you can come back on the ones that you did. Now here, right, is very, very tense. So I'm jumping as slow as I can because it's just me and now one other person. He's clearly above me and it's that dinosaur from purple. So I'm jumping as slow as I can and I have quite a big chunk of area. You just want to wait for the very last second. I know, it's very tense, isn't it? It's very tense. And he falls! Round over. Georgify gets his 25th million win. Here's another satisfying win for you. Just a bit of hardcore parkour on the yellow. I jump and dive over here. You think, how is he going to win this? It's him and 2 others. And you've got barely any land. But you know what? Nothing's possible. Round over and we get another win. That's what I'm telling you. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you, this was a very, very good clip. I got a perfect run on Fall Mountain. At the beginning you want to jump so then you don't fall over, but you don't jump near anyone. Now here, the route is to go through, just follow those arrows, stick to the wall and go through this way, particularly this way. This is the best route officially. Stick to the wall so you don't get hit by the balls all around. Come on. Now, as you go past these diamonds, use them as cover. Now you can go on the right hand side and stick to the very wall so you won't get hit by a ball. Now, or you can go left like I did. Now when you're on the right, you want to stick to the very wall so you actually won't get hit by the hammer like it's impossible. Make these big jumps here, get lucky really. Now when you're on the left hand side, it's more worth it to use that little shortcut. And you just jump, press shift or press RT on your controller. Get the win really. That was a very, very perfect round for me, of course. I mean, it's what you expect, isn't it? I'm Georgify. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to see more Fall Guy gameplay like this, well, it wasn't really gameplay, but I'm probably not actually going to be doing more of these kind of tip and trick videos. You know, it takes a lot of time to edit and stuff, but I promise you that we'll have some Season 2 gameplay coming up very, very soon. We'll have lots of new videos. A couple like non-gaming related videos for you as well, so we've got a nice variety in there. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you in a bit.